This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Next, it's the main event, but fans are still basking in the fact that Baby Doll finally beat Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette had been running his mouth for months, attacking and talking trash about Baby Doll.
Yeah, here's where Jim Cornette is great. Watch this.
The big sell.
Big sell afterwards.
You want to talk about a guy that's wound tight. Jim Cornette.
I think the world knows that by now.
Everyone listening to this does, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got to catch up with Mr. Cornette, David?
Pardon?
When was the last time you got to talk to Jimmy Cornette?
Years. I'd love to talk to him. I really, here's another creative guy, as far as booking. Yeah, I think he's got a lot of good ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's Klondike.
You'd have to, he goes in his tirades and you have to wait until he comes back down to earth.
My interactions with Jim have always been great. I think he sort of treats people how they treat him, and the cage is there. And of course, we know that that's not going anywhere because our main event is also a cage match. Let's track it. See the police giving the champ an escort to the ring, and this is the only full entrance we get with the full music and the whole deal. And there he is, the Olivia Walker robe, the big gold belt underneath.
Oh yeah.
And this is where he won his second world title, beating Harley Race at the very first Starrcade. So his old stomping grounds for sure. Can't wait to hear the ring introductions. Let's go back to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next event of the evening, a one-fall match with a 60-minute time limit for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first in the corner to my right, the challenger from Austin, Texas, former two-time World's Heavyweight Champion, weighing in tonight at 280 pounds, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And now, the world's heavyweight champion from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 243 pounds, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
No commentary yet for this one either yet, Tony.
Maybe it's not on this tape.
We're not there. There's Wally still there.
Yeah. I think we did do some commentary for it, David, but I don't think we did. We did it maybe in post. Yeah, we did it maybe. I'm not so sure. Track it, Conrad, see if we're there yet. Yeah, apparently not. Well, there you go. If you want us, you're going to have to tune in to TBS 605 on Saturday nights.
Or WHW Monday.
Or WHW Monday. We have such a great time, David, again, with our regular show, WHW Monday, each and every week, and listening to you and the excitement that you brought to the matches was unparalleled. It really was. Your excitement was amazing.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's it. Dusty used to say, David, man, David brings that raw excitement to the show. I said, you damn right he does. And he gets me going.
Well, you could hear that David was a fan. David was enjoying what we're watching just as much as we are. And we've talked about it a lot on the show, Tony. Enthusiasm is contagious.
Yes.
So when David was getting excited, we would get excited. But if everyone's monotone, I mean, it's not golf. We don't want whispers and little claps. No, cheer your ass off. And just like Dusty's strutting that ass off here.
Yeah.
God, how much fun was Dusty having right here?
Yeah, man.
Oh, this was a chess game between the two.
Yeah.
Who was going to lead? Who's going to lead? Yeah. Rick is taking it into Dusty, but he's going to have to blow Dusty up a little bit to get his way.
Yeah, I remember after the match too, them two hugging and coming together, and both of them thanking each other for the match and everything. And it was a good match, man. It really was. It was a memorable match. Rick knew how to do it. It just
his technique. He's just taking his time.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that it's not going to be a quick match.
Right.
Dusty's got to get his stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
He has to take care of Dusty.
Right. And that was one of the keys too. You needed to make Dusty look good, take care of him, and and Rick could do that. He could do that. Hell, he could do that with anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I remember he's programmed with a junkyard dog. So, he could but Dusty had all those great antics and all great sense of timing with the fans, and knew how to get the crowd going, that dancing that he was doing. See how Dusty would pull away like that and shake his finger.
Great stuff.
Yeah, man.
David, at this point, Dusty's got the magic touch with creative, and it's working. But I believe there were some cracks starting the show in the relationship with Flair and Dusty. And I think your brother Jimmy often had to play mediator because Rick would be upset or Dusty would be upset. They were on again, off again friends, Dusty and Rick. When do you remember that really becoming apparent to you that, man, these guys don't get along the way they maybe used to, or we hope they would?
They both were vying for Jimmy's attention.
I see.
It was his attention. Jimmy was, if it was Jimmy going off with Dusty and Magnum, and not going with Rick and Tully and those guys, well, then Rick would get upset. And then Dusty would be the same way. So Jimmy was, he had to play both sides. Not play, but satisfy both sides. And until Dusty passed away, Rick and Dusty they always wanted to be number one. And to me, they were, both of them, in their own way. They're two totally different talents. Rick could not be a Dusty.
Right.
And Dusty couldn't be a
right.
But put them together, I mean, you've got the best combination.
Yeah, look how Flair sells that chop, man.
Again, he's taking his time.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he needs to. This reminds me of John Valentine when Rick used to partner and wrestle with him. Valentine was always backing in the corner and begging off until the right moment, and then he'd go in.
Right. Well, Rick learned a lot from him, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure he did.
And when Rick came in, he went straight to top talent, putting wrestling top talent every night, and that's why he's so good.
Yeah. It's quite a story. It really is.
You got any good Dusty Rhodes stories you can share with us, David?
No, Dusty was always with Jimmy. Yeah, always. I was sort of in the background there.
Well, everybody's got some fun Flair stories. When's the first time you saw him put on a show at the bar, if we shall?
Wow. Which bar? I guess the first time was Baltimore. When we finished, it was a pay-per-view there, and we put the truck to bed, so to speak, and I went over, and Rick was in rare form. Rare form. I mean,
Was that
had all the drinks lined up on the bar.
right?
Yeah. The kamikazes. Nasty stuff.
I remember he had one time in Baltimore, he had rented a suite, and we were all in there. And at the Marriott, and we were in there, and he peeked. He was in the bedroom, one of the bedrooms there. It was a big suite, and he peeked his head and looked at me, and calls me over, and I'm thinking, why me? And he calls me over, and he said, and he's naked,
Of course.
and he says, "See that girl right there? Tell her the champ wants to talk to her." I said, "Okay." I'll go over. I don't know who she is. Said, "The champ wants to talk to you." Me? Yes, he wants to talk to you. So she walks over, and he says, and does something that you could never get away with today. He says, "Darling," and he opens the door, and he's completely naked. He said, "You want to put a sock on this for me?"
Oh gosh.
Okay. And she just laughs and runs away.
Yeah.
She ran away?
Yeah, she ran away.
I remember him walking out of that door and going up to the couch and hitting a young lady on the head with it.
That's probably. Hitting a young lady on the head with it, Conrad.
Yep.
I think it was even written in his book that I think Jim Crockett was quoted as saying that sometimes he would tap ladies on the shoulder on an airplane, but he wouldn't use his finger.
I believe it. I believe it. Hey, he was famous. We had that trip from Atlanta to Hawaii, and every liquor was consumed, and finally started taking the the Kahluas and everything. He's throwing them in a pitcher and going around pouring drinks, and then he would finally come out in his robe and the belt, and nothing else.
Well, he was the right man for the right time, because in 2021 they would have had to make an emergency landing and arrest him.
Oh, he'd have been in prison a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
But it's part of the legend. And another part of the legend is what we're seeing right here.
Sold out Greensboro Coliseum in the main event for the world title. But then the real show is afterwards. Oh, he's raking Dusty Rhodes' head across the cage here.
Yeah. I think by this time, even though Charlotte was only an hour and a half south on 85, I think probably we still used the planes. Not sure. I don't know for sure, but something look at Dusty, man. You're right. Right above his right eye.
I think Dusty's still got it in his right hand.
Yeah. Dusty. Hanging out like Jesus. His arms.
That scar tissue on Dusty's head.
Yeah.
Look.
It looks like Rand McNally.
You're right. He still got it. I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised in a way that Dusty bled first here. But there you go.
Well, if he's going over, you would think they would.
There you go.
Structure the match that way. Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bleed. Don't think you're going to be able to come back and win it, and you do.
Very Magnum TA
Yeah.
we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Young, of course, was Flair's favorite referee. I assume Dusty's as well.
I'm not sure.
I got the feeling.
Why not?
Yeah, I got the feeling he was everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was. There was no question who was going to referee the big matches. No, there was no doubt, no question.
That's true. True.
Right. Of course, when we were in TV at the TBS studios, we had Randy Anderson, Pee Wee. He did most of the refereeing at the TBS studios because he was Georgia based. But Tommy didn't do much of the studios. I don't know if Tommy, of all the shows we've watched, Tommy hasn't done one yet, has he, Conrad?
It's funny you say that. I don't think so.
Yeah. I think it's been all Pee Wee doing them.
Well,
just leaping
Tommy
across.
was to get to the town that we were going to wrestle in on Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to sort of add context to what we're talking about here, you guys were on quite the tear here on the 25th. So 2 days prior to this, you were in Norfolk, I guess the day prior, and then here in Greensboro on the 26th. The next day, the TV taping, first thing in the morning, and a matinee show in Asheville, an evening show in Dallas. The next day, back to North Carolina for Wilmington. On the 29th, you did TV in Rock Hill. On the 30th, as we've mentioned before, Baby Doll and Sam Houston are going to get married, but you're also going to run Dorton Arena. And then on the 31st, you're in Columbia, South Carolina. On August 1st, you're in San Antonio. On August 2nd, you're at Fulton County Stadium. August 3rd, TV in Greenville. And then a rare 4 days off, or 4 or 5 days off, actually, before you're back in Richmond. But off days, especially during this tour, were a rarity. I do want to mention the Dorton Arena situation. We've talked about Dorton Arena a few times in the more recent weeks, David, and Tony absolutely hated that building. Said it was a dump. It was too hot. I think aesthetically as a fan, it looked awesome. I loved it. Where'd you land on Dorton? Did you like the Dorton Arena?
Not really, because all the glass, in the summertime, the sun setting, or it wouldn't get dark until we had to paper all that glass, and it was hot. Wasn't air conditioned.
Oh.
And the dressing rooms were horrible. We really didn't have good dressing rooms. That's not to say Raleigh wasn't a good area. It's just the building. They've got a great building now, but at that time it was just a fairground building, not anything else. They wanted to run cattle in there and livestock, or horses, whatever it was. It was only built for the fair.
That's right.
State fair.
So there, I'm right. Terrible building, terrible place. Wasn't the Greensboro Coliseum. But you're right. They, I guess the Wolfpack have a brand new arena there that they run in NC State. Yeah.
NC State,
What a great moment right there. It looked like
the Hurricanes are in there.
Yeah, the Carolina Hurricanes. That was a great moment. Dusty with the clothesline and then running on his hands and knees as fast as he could.
Oh gosh, trying to get that belt. That was such a great little moment.
That was a great moment.
David, I was talking
He's trying to get out. Don't pull his pants. Don't pull his pants.
Classic.
Show a little skin here.
Yeah.
Let's track it just for a minute. See if we got any commentary. Yet another reason why wrestlers should have long hair. As Rick is shaking his head no, you can see it from the cheap seats.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Dr. Flair is in.
Yep. Break him on the fence. Here we go.
Yep.
You got to get excited about saving people all those dollars. They can limousine ride and jet fly now with that extra cash.
and they can style and profile with a quick 10-minute phone call right now to 425-0105.
That's 425-0105. Woo!
SaveWithConrad.com.
I don't know if it's any way to work that, getting your head scrubbed against the.
Oh, sure there is.
Well, I guess you can, but I have a feeling there was a lot more abrasions than
All right.
you wanted.
Who are we going to get to try it? We need to have a live.
I love the sound of that. Let's,
No. Yeah, Dave Silva will.
yes. Whoever wound up pooping on my floor.
That's right. Who's ever guilty of shitting on Conrad's floor gets his head rubbed into the steel cage to test out the theory. We'll try to work it. Conrad, you try to work. You grab him by the hair. You try to work it, but you may not be able to work it, but you'll try. Okay.
David, isn't it fun to see how over?
Put it around. Put the cage. Yeah, we're going to put the cage around the pool.
Oh, I like that now.
Have a pool mat. Oh, there he is. You know, show his ass.
Here comes the ass. There it went.
Yeah.
By request.
Rick wants him to pull. Rick would love to have him pull it all the way down to his knees.
Yeah.
You may not know this, Tony, but all the Flairs have high butt cracks. We talk about that at Thanksgiving. High butt cracks.
High butt cracks.
High butt crack.
Okay.
I've done the research.
Oh, Lord.
I bet you have, Conrad. I bet you have.
Yep.
So we
comment.
should be, yeah, there you go. You don't need to. We should be getting not too far away from the finish here. Look at this. Can't work that. Look at that forearm or forehead against the. Yeah, can't work that, man. Flair, look at banging his head up against it.
Oh. Just make it bleed a little bit more.
You get the adrenaline flowing. I'm thinking you get into a match. You just bang my head. Go ahead, do it. We can do it.
Tony, we know that Arn used to call Rick Beak. Do you know if
Beak?
Dusty had a nickname for him?
No, he didn't. Just Rick, Flair, but not Beak. I mean, Beak was almost his universal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody called him Beak. So I don't know if Dusty did or not, but.
David, did you also refer to J.J. Dillon as Johnny Bench?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I didn't know.
I didn't.
Okay.
I told Rick speak.
Yeah, that's right.
That's funny.
Here we go.
This is a big moment here.
Yeah.
Let's see what this sounds like. Let's track it. David, these days we don't see a lot of blood in wrestling anymore, and people argue for or against it still here in 2021. Can you imagine? Could you have imagined back then if someone told you, in the future they'll do cage matches with no blood?
That would be hard to believe.
Yeah.
I had the cage match.
Right.
What's the reason some consequences have to happen in a cage match?
Right.
It doesn't have to be a bloodfest, but cages to hold them in, to bang your head against.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to have some sort of, I don't know, or you don't need a cage.
Right.
To me.
Yeah. After a cage match now, do they hug each other? And, do they say good match and hug each other and go out hand in hand, skipping? No.
Is this it? The backslide?
The big backslide. Let's see what happens.
Oh, no.
Old school backslide, man. You don't see that a lot anymore, Tom.
No, you don't. You really don't.
What do you see now?
Well, you see a lot of guys diving over the top rope now.
A lot of schoolboys.
A lot of schoolboys. A lot of what they call Canadian destroyers or code reds. And a lot of really, and listen, I'm not against it. I love some of the stuff I see, but there's a lot of acrobatic stuff going on now, David, as you know.
Right. Which I don't mind.
Right.
The problem I have with it is that everybody does the same thing. You know, that if somebody uses it as a finish, well, somebody else will use it as a hot spot. That doesn't work.
Yeah, right. You're right. Because then it means nothing.
Yeah.
Flair off the top with the flying crossbody. Unsuccessful. Looks like Flair's trying to turn the tide here. He's actually controlling the match. Let's see what happens.
And that's how it turns. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
No, shit. Fooled me again. Fooled me again.
And you called it. Or I've heard you call it before.
Yeah, but you know.
It's going up. Here it comes. Here it comes. It moves. We're getting close, guys. Got to be getting close. Both of them are running out of gas. They're running out of gas.
Tony, I'm going to track the finish so we can hear the ring announcer. Here it is.
Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and new World Heavyweight Champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Man, what a moment. What a pop. You can hear it in the ring announcer's voice. All the baby faces are going to come celebrate, including David Allen Coe.
Yeah. Yeah, David Allen Coe is going to come out here, or he may be out here already. Yeah, he is. There he is.
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and Tom Miller's voice, ladies and gentlemen, said it twice.
Yeah,
just help sell the moment.
I like that. It was good.
Big moment. Of course, Dusty has been NWA World Champion again, but he never held this version of the belt. This is his first and only win with what we collectors call the big gold belt. They would commission a nameplate made for him, but by the time it arrived, Dusty had already dropped the belt. So all these years later, Cody Rhodes has it. And what a cool little piece of history it is. Dusty's first and only win with the big gold belt. And we're watching it here with Mr. Crockett. What a great time this has been today, Tony.
Yeah, we've had a great time. David, just talking to you just brings back so many great memories of not only our time together doing the TBS show, but our time together or working side by side. And it's just, as always, wonderful talking to you, buddy. It really is.
I'll tell you, it was a pleasure working with you. And even now, it's a pleasure being with you on this broadcast anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime. Conrad, you too. All right.
I appreciate that, man. You know, listen, I'm like everybody listening to this right now. You two guys were the voice of 1986, and to go back and watch this with both of you guys together, man, this was so special. We appreciate you taking the time to join us and doing so from your trip visiting the family. We've stolen 3 hours of your time today, and we greatly appreciate it.
Oh, well, that's fine. The wife's sitting over there watching too, so it's good.
Well,
I hope Conrad that you find out who pooped.
We will.
You don't have to poop the poop.
We got lawyers involved, so we will.
Okay. Hey, call Judge Ellinger. Yeah, he's good. Call him. Or Sam White. Remember Sam? He was U.S. Drug Enforcement. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, Drug Enforcement and Homeland Security.
Oh.
Yeah, he was one of the guys traveling with us. Sam's wife died recently, so, but good people.
Yeah.
There's Dusty with the big gold belt, and you see Truck and Tom trying to hold up the American Dream. Little sign there for him.
Yeah.
What a big moment. And I'm glad we got to share it with you today, Mr. Crockett. Thank you again for joining us. We greatly appreciate your time here on What Happened When.
All right. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you asking me.
Absolutely. Our pleasure. Thank you, sir. I hope you have a great day.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.